Victoria. Minister, good morning to you. Welcome to Morning Live on SABC2.
Good morning, Vuyo. Good morning to the listeners.
Now, when people have experienced crime, it's not easy for them to forgive. Do you really think these dialogues will reconcile offenders and crime victims?
Well, our main focus is with the offender. The offender, once it's brought to us for 20 years, for 10 years, the state society requires us to rehabilitate that offender. Way back from the Freedom Charter, it says imprisonment shall not be for revenge but for re-education. Now, here is an offender is with us and he says, I am terrible, I did something very wrong. Can I have an opportunity to go and apologize to the people I wronged? Because I didn't wrong just a forest, I wronged a human being. That the victim-offender dialogue facilitate that, and it's going very well, where the offender meets the victim and explain his way, not so much to expect that the victim must forgive the offender, but for the side of the offender, it helps just to explain what happened and to say sorry. If you can find it in your heart to forgive me, it will be a bonus. But I want to explain myself to say, I'm sorry, I behaved in a subhuman manner, and I want to rehabilitate now. And to start that rehabilitation, I must start by saying sorry.
Now, the Deputy Minister, Advocate Ngwaku Ramatlhodi, already led a victim-offender dialogue session in Thohoyandou in Limpopo earlier this month. How did that go? What was the feedback from that session?
We've had a series of these. Advocate Ramatlhodi held one in Limpopo. It was very, very traumatic. Spent some time when victim and offender were not even speaking at each other, were just crying, both of them. And in time, they warmed at each other, facilitated by a priest and a social worker, and it ended up very well. But the central point here is that we are saying in the criminal justice system, the victim does not really matter. You are not even called in as a witness unless it is necessary. It is the state versus the criminal. With us, we say we have got the offender. The offender must make amends with the victim by saying sorry, by doing reparations wherever he can, by identifying articles that they threw away somewhere that had no value to them, and really start a human relationship, no matter how long it takes. With others, it takes weeks. With others, it takes years. But that process must start. Is the TRC in a minuscule in our case.
Now, you're hosting another one in Mpumalanga tomorrow. What have you planned for this session?
At Secunda tomorrow, we will be again having a series or a number of these victims meeting the offenders, and they'll go through the same process with the help of religious leaders, help of social workers. It's a professional thing. And from there, a dialogue will have started. I must emphasize that this in itself does not deal with the question of a reduction or otherwise of the sentence, but it does contribute to the rehabilitation of the offender by having him whole, do away with the guilty conscience, do reparations, say I'm sorry, say if I can do this thing again, if I can help in any manner, I will do so, and begin a healthy relationship. Even if it can start in anger, it will end up being a human relationship. And in that way, we are fulfilling our mandate as correctional services whose task is to rehabilitate.
Now, there was a hostage drama in one of the prisons in Mangaung recently. There was lots of criticism about security and private security companies. What is your response to that?
Well, I'll start with the last one. We do have a very strong criticism against private prisons. These are the two that are left in the country. We don't think it's working for us. Where people are not even wearing our uniforms. It's a private concern altogether, owned by a British company. And something like that happened. It happened in Limpopo last year, and then it happened again now. And the levels of security, I, as Minister of Correctional Services, I'm not satisfied with the level of security. Those people were not searched, and they put the life of a doctor and a nurse at risk, and they will nearly have lost those that nurse and a doctor, and we really want to apologize to them. But we are tightening that, and of course reviewing the whole question of a private prison as a concept.
Now, what steps has the department taken regarding the cases of misconduct by officials, especially wardens in prisons?
Now, this is a high security establishment. It is the end of all. It is the end of a criminal life. It's a beginning of law-abiding life. Police take people, they pass them on to the courts. The courts take them on. They pass them on to us. We are the alpha. We are the end, and we are also the beginning. We are the end of a long line of criminal life. We are the beginning of a law-abiding life, and therefore the question of the conduct of our own members is paramount. It's not just like any other establishment. Here, you are molding life. Okay. You must be exemplary yourself.
All right. Thank you very much. Minister responsible for Correctional Services is Ndebele, joining us from our studios in Pretoria.